Gentlemen, thank you for tuning in
Soul Connect
to another episode of the Labor Lounge. We appreciate you. Labor Lounge, that's right, we been working out. All that issue can't talk at work, we can talk about. Labor Lounge. I ain't gonna argue with ya, I'ma hit you with these facts so that you can get the picture. Hey, big man got the plan, professor got the execution, KBC is clutch, holding up the Constitution. Together we combine to bring quality content, good conversation. You don't even know where the time went, so call the pastor, call the deacon, call the good girls or call the heathens. It don't even matter, call them if they breathing. Ain't no excuse for you to be sleeping. Tell them to tune in when it reaches the weekend. Saturday nights at 11 Eastern to where you going? Oh, I'ma be over here listening to the Labor Lounge. Them boys, they gon' work it out. All that issue can't talk at work, we can talk about. Labor Lounge. I ain't gonna argue with you, I'ma hit you with these facts so that you can get the picture. Hey. Hey, what we do, boy?
You're just talking away. My mom, I'm muted. I'm not ready for this endeavor. You already know.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Just another Sunday. But check this out, man. Welcome back to the Labor Lounge podcast, where we talk about current events and more ish. I appreciate everybody for rocking with the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share it out with a friend, and then we finna get into it. So here we are. We back again. Professor, how your week been?
Cooler, man. You know, just been working away, hard at the grind, and looking forward to this weekend show. You know,
that's a fact. So you saw the thumbnail. I'm gonna put it up one more time. We got women in hip hop, raunchy rap lyrics. Started a long time ago. That's kind of what the basis of this conversation is going to be around, right? Because it seems like lately there's a lot of conversation around Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, and we also got Lotto in the mix, where people think that they just got some of the raunchiest rap lyrics out there, right? Which I'm not going to say that that's a wrong statement, but what I will say is they're trying to ask the question, is Sexy Red the reason, or is Sexy Red destroying the black culture? This is the question that's floating around over the World Wide Web. And I personally think they're giving Sexy Red just a little bit too much credit for that, especially when you throw the black culture into the mix. So just based off of what we're talking about right now, and you saw the tag, what do you think? What's your thoughts on that?
You know, I think this is one of those subjects that has to be tackled carefully, right?
Yeah.
Because when you put the microscope on women, many people are going to go ahead and shift the microscope a little bit to the other direction and put the microscope on men, right? So when I think about these situations, I think, let me start out by saying that I think that there are a lot of ladies that rap their ass off, bro. Yeah. Like rap, like, oh my God, they got bars, right? I put the litmus test the same way that I do for dudes, the same way that I do for women. And a lot of the times I'm going to say that with some of the newer artists, I'm a little bit more disappointed because we've delved into a whole demographic that I call coochie rap, right? And it's just, it seems to be repetitive. And it's like, yo, for a good party tune, cool. But when you stay in that lane and you continuously pump out that type of music, it gets a hotter spotlight than, say, for instance, somebody who might have made a rap song that was a male and set a line in there that was questionable, right? You could even go to Akinelli, right? We've heard this track. I said, right? You know, he made this track. Now, when you put Sexy Red against him, some could say he's equally as raunchy. Some might argue and debate that he's more, right? The only difference I can see is that Akinyele wasn't as influential as Sexy Red is because of the way that social media is structured now, right? Like before, you could have a track and it'll be a track. Now you got Sexy Red and she's really promoting that image. And some of the things that she does in her personal life, or I don't even know if it's her personal life or not, right? I don't know. Some of the things that, in the ways that she presents herself, it's a little bit off-putting. You know, you're pregnant by one dude and you're bouncing like a dude in jail off of like a phone call. Your reactivity level is through the roof. You know, like you're not even trying to have any type of decorum whatsoever. Now, I will say that when I go ahead and criticize her in that light, I criticize the men too, because even dudes like Kodak Black, as much as I could go ahead and rock with a lot of his tracks, I don't like how he presents himself in the public eye sometimes, you know, especially with him being a Haitian dude. Some of the things that he said in the past for me have been questionable. So I just want people to know the same way that I criticize the ladies is the same way that I criticize the men, because I feel like in all fairness, the bar has to be equal across the board. You feel me?
So yeah, I do feel you, and I understand what you're saying. And I think when I listen to you, I'm listening to you speak, and I think the men had an equal part to play in this, because one of the articles that I read when I was trying to research this article, a lot of the rap lyrics that some of these women are rapping were actually written by ghostwriters who were men, right? So it's like, can we even really hold them to what they're saying, because it was ghost written for them. And just like the comment says, sex sells. So we know when women get in there, sex is always going to sell. So I guess the argument that the World Wide Web is trying to bring to the forefront is that you called it, what do you say? What'd you call it? Coochie rap? It's
Coochie music, yeah.
Yeah. The actual term for which we're going to hear when I play this clip is called P rappers. That's what they call them, P rappers, right? I mean,
yeah, I could see that.
That's what they're calling it. Now, Sexy Red, like you said, she has a very descriptive way of promoting herself, right? And it's just like boom, right there in your face, to the point to where she's describing orifices, right? That's what
there's no other topic.
Exactly. That's what Sexy Red does. But I can't sit up here and say that Sexy Red is the reason for why you're seeing that. I think she's just emulating what has been happening for years. And I think the oldest female rapper that I could think of, I mean, you can go back to Adina Howard. You remember Adina Howard?
You could go further than that. If you go MC Light, you could go Roxanne, you know, Shelly, all that.
So this has been happening a long time. So she's just emulating what she's been seeing, but she's one-upping everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you. So in this clip that I'm getting ready to play, this comes from Fearless with Jason Whitlock, because they actually kind of inspired me to even want to talk about this. We're gonna let them kind of set up, give some context, and then we go come back and we're gonna look at an article that was written in 1997, right? But I want them to kind of frame this up for us, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So let's get this up on the screen, and we're gonna kick it off.
It's a website that is targeted towards African Americans. It's pretty far left, about as far left as you can go. It's written an article that kind of caught our attention this week and kind of blew my mind. Dustin Siebert, Is Sexy Red Destroying Black Culture, or empowering black women is the headline. We analyze the role that PUSSY rappers play in the black community. Wow, just that headline, that P rappers and the role they play in the black community. Wow, that's amazing. They should play no role, and I'm not. Anyway, this article starts, Sexy Red is testing limits what lox is to a toasted bagel. Last weekend, the St. Louis rapper posted a video to her 3.5 million Instagram followers showing her with a pregnant belly bending over for a photo as a man, presumably a fan, buries his face in her butt. She says, "My bad if my booty stank," before laughing out loud.
Professor. Let's run it back real quick just so people can really understand what we just heard. Here we go.
Buries his face in her butt. She says, "My bad if my booty stank," before laughing out loud.
All right, so real quick. Now, we've heard a lot of things growing up, coming up through the 90s. There was rappers that they said a lot of things that it was like, OMG. But I have never, ever heard a female rapper say something like, "My bad if my booty stank." Have you? I see you rubbing your head.
Well, let's give her some credit. At least she was courteous, you know. Yo, look, man. I think if we really want to get into the most important question is, I don't think there isn't a space for Sexy Red and her type of music. I think that the problem is why people are promoting it to the forefront of ladies rap. And I think that's where it becomes crazy, because to have this type of representation, look, man, dudes go ahead and rhyme about crazy things all the time, right? But you could leave the crazy stuff and go somewhere else into an abstract artist. You could leave that and then go into another crazy chart-topping hit where this guy is just talking about life. You know, there's so much more versatility and diversity in male rap that even though there's a saturation of, I don't even know if I really call it a saturation, right? Because the way that the raunchiness is in males, you might have one dude that'll go ahead and do that. But in the female rap, it's almost like a badge of honor for you to go ahead and run it in that particular way. And I get it. Sex sells, right? And if they're being ghostwritten, well, that means that they're being backed by the studio to go ahead and be ghostwritten, right? So once again, why is this being promoted to the forefront, right? Lotto is an asterisk for me, because Lotto can actually, you know, drop some rhymes. She's not all the way that, but I think she's in this funny realm of having to be to sell, right? And so, you know, people do what sells. She might want to do like a few of those tracks or whatever, but I think she can really rhyme, you know? So for her, I don't know, right? I don't know if I'm gonna call her all the way a coochie rapper. I think that Sexy Red is definitively a coochie rapper. Cardi B, she
hold up, wait a minute. Don't get too far ahead. Don't get too far ahead, because we still got a little bit.
Okay. Well, look, I'll leave it right there. You know, I'll go ahead and say that, you know, I think the big difference is this can't just be your your only go-to for rap, right? Rap is so diverse. So when you're seeing this put in the prominence in the forefront of that, it becomes a little weird. And then when you see it become repetitive, it becomes a little sad because it's like, yo, I want to hear the bars that I know women can go ahead and drop. You know, like some of my favorite rappers from the older times were Rob Digger, who was with Flip Mode, Remy. You know, Remy is bar heavy. You know, Lil Kim was there, Foxy was cool, you know, even the abstract rappers, Jean Grey, yo, phenomenal rapper, dude, like would leave you in awe. Just a wildly great rapper. So when I come to this, I come to the table with like, hey, there are so many other ways that ladies rap can go, but the lane that is being promoted is the coochie rap. And I think that it could be a little bit better over there. I'm not criticizing the ladies and saying this is exclusively what it is. I'm just saying what's being promoted is like on the forefront of that, almost to say, hey, we don't got anything else. It's like, where's the rest of these ladies? Because I know they have ladies in here that are bar heavy. They're just not getting their attention.
The 25-year-old is currently at the head of a newer subgenre of black women rappers peddling so-called P-rap, a brand of wildly sexually explicit hip-hop over trap beats. Popular P-rappers include Lotto and Glorilla, who lean more strongly into rhymes than, say, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, or Nicki Minaj. And that's why I stop and go, are we sure Sexy Red's any more raunchy than Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion? Did I not see a song called WAP? Did I not see Hillary Clinton interviewing Megan Thee Stallion about the song WAP? Wet, A-P-U-S-S-Y. Anyway, Shamika, help me.
Hey, it's crazy that Hillary Clinton did interview Meg Thee Stallion about the song WAP. Like, why was that important for anything?
Because she was fishing for relevancy.
Oh yeah, she was trying to get the hip hop community.
Yeah, that's all it was, man. You know, she was just sitting there fishing for relevancy, man. It wasn't nothing that was profound or, oh my God, she's the set. She was fishing for where can I go ahead and get this popularity at? Oh, she's hot right now. Let me get up on this.
That's where Skip Bayless got it from, huh?
Well,
Let's keep going.
Figure out here, is this article from The Root? And by the way, I'm sorry for saying this, and it's probably not appropriate to say given the conversation we're about to have, but I'm going to try to say it because it's the first thing that just ran through my mind. My grandmother, Lovey Kennedy, we called her Mama Lovey. Anytime she saw me when I was a little kid, she pits my cheeks and say, "You cute as a button." And right now, when I look at you in that Fearless jacket and everything, I just want to pinch your cheeks and say, "You cute as a button." Anyway, your thoughts on Sexy Red and just whether or not, is this a good sign, like that The Root is actually questioning how far we're going with rap?
You know, it may be a step in the right direction, but it still seems disingenuous to try and say that Glorilla or Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion, you're just kind of separating the ones that you like the best or the ones that are the multi-platinum artists and letting them have a pass because it's all the same to me. You know, you may see one as more classy. I don't know how. They are all the same. And so I just think that, you know, it's The Root trying to say, oh, well, you know, we said something, we came out about our concerns, but they aren't really, because if you were really concerned, you would call them all out across the board and you would be honest that all of their music promotes promiscuity. It's not just the ones that, Sexy Red. I don't understand why they're trying to make this all fall on her shoulders. You even see artists such as Beyonce, who used to have very classy music, now lean a lot more into sex, and a lot of her songs now, I'm like, who is Harpo? Who this woman? Because I don't know who she is some of the times with some of this that she puts out, because it's so sexual. So I just think they're trying to say that they're saying something about it, but not really.
So we use that to frame it up a little bit. And you can hear at the end, you had Shamika Michelle kind of saying some of the things that I was saying about, I think they giving Sexy Red too much credit, and they trying to put all this on her back when this has actually just been going on for forever and a day.
Yeah, I think there was, I don't know if it was forever and a day, right?
Yeah.
Little Kim was definitely promiscuous. But for every promiscuous song that Little Kim had, she had lyrical bangers too. I think this is the major difference between the ladies that are being presented these days, is that there's no musical diversity amongst them. You could, if you put out one little joint, I'm not going to say nothing, but if you're just all day long cookie cutter coochie rap, it becomes very in your face at that point, right? It's not a problem to do this. Everybody before her did it, but they did it with the other tracks having a little bit more than just coochie rap. They showed that they were bigger than just coochie rap. So they weren't considered coochie rappers, even though they did some of the things that these ladies were doing today, right? They did a lot of the stuff. They did it probably even raunchier, but they just didn't live in that realm. Now you have a whole pocket of rap that's being referred to as coochie rap.
Okay, so we got a comment that says, please go back to the disco queens. They all promoted sex in their music. This didn't start with hip hop. I agree with that comment because
definitively, yeah.
I was gonna when you finish, I was gonna talk about Madonna. I don't even know who the disco queens were, but Madonna was definitely promiscuous too. So no, it didn't even start in hip hop, and that's another thing. Like we're putting a hyper focus on hip hop. Hip hop didn't start promiscuity, right?
No.
We just took it and we made it popular because obviously that's what hip hop does. It takes things and it makes it popular. But there was definitely people in that pop genre. I mean, shoot, we can even talk about Prince. Like, look what Prince was doing, Bobby Brown. So we keep.
But R&B has a special pocket for love making. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, dog. R&B got a special pocket.
But it's a special pocket, but it's a special pocket, but it's still promiscuous. It's still promiscuous. Janet Jackson.
No. Don't do that because and let's separate the two R&Bs, right? There's today's R&B and then there's R&B from before. Even if they might have gotten slightly raunchy in yesteryear's R&B still had that element of figurative talk. They're not saying bend that over, let that breathe, hands on your knees. Like, you're not saying, like, you're not giving. You can't. It's just a bunch of instructions on sexual stuff and there's no lyrics there. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes one of these, like, I'm not even gonna front. I'm gonna keep it OG with you. I think Sexy Red makes parody music that goes viral. It's like, this is the type of music that would be in a movie, a hip hop movie at a strip club. You know, like in the background. Bend it over. Let that breathe. Hands on your knees.
They say this is the popcorn era of music, man. So it goes viral. It goes viral online, and that's it. It's like it has its moment in time, and then we move on. But I want to pull this article up because, like I said this has been going on forever and a day. So we're going to look at this article that goes back. It was written in 1997. We pull it up on screen here, and this was printed in the Washington Post. It was written by Holly Bass, February 26, 1997. So we're back into the 90s, approaching 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm.
As gangster rap continues to expand, staying 1 foot ahead of its detractors, the feminine side of this enduring subgenre has taken its own evolutionary course. Early 90s novelty groups like BWP, Bitches with Problems, and HWA, Hoes with Attitude, have fallen by the wayside, replaced by more polished acts. After a spate of cameo appearances on other people's track, newcomers Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim quickly blew up the charts with their respective debut albums, Il Nana and Hardcore. We remember both of those albums, do you not? Both of them were bangers. I'm not gonna act like I wasn't listening to them. Blew up the charts with their respective debut albums. And in an industry defined by change, veteran rapper Yo-Yo displays staying power with her fourth release, Total Control. While each of these nasty girls has her own distinct style, what connects them is predilection for fictional crime escapades, a material girl mentality, and an unapologetic outspokenness about sex. So it says right here in this article, written in 1997, that this has been a conversation that has been happening. So for them to come out,
but it's very different, right?
How's it very different?
Because they put in there, right? Not only did they put a small glimpse, unapologetic outspokenness about sex. That's just a small little area, right? Granted, we haven't gone forward, right? But in this paragraph, you can see that they said what each of these nasty girls has her own distinct style. Or while each of these nasty girls has her own distinct style, what connects them is a predilection for fictional crime escapades, a material girl mentality, and an unapologetic outspokenness about sex. They're saying that these three elements kind of encompass the album, but the album wasn't just definitively boom about sex. I think that's the huge asterisk when it comes to talking about these ladies. Like you said, right? Here's my case in point. When you said Il Nana and Hardcore, you said, man, I ain't even going front like I ain't heard about those albums. They were bangers. And I agreed with you, right? Because we knew those tracks were bar heavy and they were in rotation everywhere and they had more than just the sex, right?
Okay.
Can you say that about Sexy Red? Like, hey, oh yeah, man, that I ain't even going front. That was a banger, dog.
So here's where the debate's gonna come in. See, and this is where you and I are gonna differ, right? I'm a Florida boy. You're a New Yorker, right? So with that being said, I listen to music differently. I'm gonna hear that beat because I'm not a bar heavy listener. I'm gonna listen to a beat and a catchy hook. And if you got those two elements for me, more than likely I'm gonna stay tuned with your track. I didn't really get into like that uptown lyricism stuff until I moved in with my cousin and he introduced me to other groups like D Block, Styles P, and all them people. I heard of them, but I wasn't listening to that because it was a different type of beat. I wanted to hear 808s. I wanted to hear trunks rattling, all that kind of good stuff. So if you had a decent beat and a catchy hook, I was going to listen to it. And these albums had those elements. So this is why I remember those albums. I can't sit up here and say I remember them being bar heavy. That's just that's not what would have made me gravitate towards that.
First and foremost, you need to put some respect on Florida name because What you're not gonna do is make it seem like everybody from Florida just be listening to catchy hooks and 808s. Okay. All right. We're not gonna do that. Granted, Miami is known for the bass. South Florida is known for the bass, but let's give some credit to some people, right? There are some people that had lyrics in a different fashion in Florida, right? That's the only difference in Florida is how they apply their bars. For instance, at one point in time, I'm pretty sure somebody could go ahead and argue and be like, yo, that boy Trick was coming out and saying things that people were repeating line for line, right? Am I wrong?
Give me one.
Anybody
give me.
First of all, can I? Are you serious right now?
I'm just saying, give me a bar that's not a part of the hook or the first bar of a track.
That's not fair. Why would you go ahead and put stipulations on it?
Catchy hooks and 808s, man. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but no, you didn't only just say the hook. You said the first part of a track too. I
say the first.
Yeah, bar. Why would you take that out? Because some of his first bars have been some of the most fire, and you did that specifically. You see how this? I need you guys to write to the Labor Lounge podcast at gmail.com and contribute to the BS that this guy is doing.
All right,
and this guy from Florida too, bro. I
don't know who this guy Greg is, but I'm about sick of him. Look.
Thank you. Thank you. I got that with the Dolphins. Yo, come on, man. He said, got him a motherfucking minute, and I put it out motherfucking spin. Hold up. Wait 1 more minute. Come on, man. You playing with Trick, man. Put some respect on his name.
I didn't put no disrespect on his name. All I'm saying is what
you
makes
told me
to
name something, and usually when people say that, that's
you didn't even do it. You got it from the comments.
That's not true, man. You went ahead and started putting stipulations on things and made it all like that. You knew what you did. Cheating ass.
Hey,
I'm tired of him.
Hey, Professor, you don't know Nan.
Look, man, when I caught you with the legs up, with that
raunchy.
Yeah, he did.
All right. Yeah. So, unlike
unlike
such mass appeal, female rappers as Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, or the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, these gang mode lyricists are all satellites of powerful male rapper producers. Yo-Yo, the most independent and experienced of the three, started out as a protege of Ice Cube in his West Coast set. Lil' Kim readily admits in her bio that she owes 85% of her career to Biggie Smalls. And while it is suspected that Nas has written many of Foxy Brown's best lines, it is beyond doubt that she emulates his style of delivery. Of the three, the diminutive Lil' Kim is the most shocking. Fireside photos of the lingerie-clad rapper contradicts the disc petal pink design and flowery lettering. Second only to singer Millie Jackson in graphic lyrics, Lil' Kim spends most of hardcore, big beat emphasizing the importance of oral sex and dissing unsatisfactory lovers, and as in no time. Nastiness aside, Lil' Kim's talent as a lyricist shines through on several tracks. Spend a Little Dough, backed by piano riff from 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, recounts the all too common story of women who follows her boyfriend into the drug game. On drugs, label girl, attitude in full force, she boasts, my flow is first class, yours is coach like the bag. I'm the Prada mama, jog 5 miles a day, then I hit the sauna. An array of top-notch producers provide Lil' Kim the creative samples and beats infectious enough to make even prudish listeners nod their heads. Foxy Brown, Il Nana. So, I mean, you hear it in the article, man. She had some lyrics, but she did emphasize a lot about sexual exploitations.
Of course.
But she did have lyrics. Now, the part I mentioned earlier about some of these women having ghostwriters and these lyrics are being written by men, I mean, we can't take that away from them. So
That's
we
true
know
as well.
in order for them to break into the game, they didn't just come in because they had the nicest lyrics and they broke out. Like it was a game plan. It was like, yo, I think we could do this, and you have this look, so this is what we're gonna do. And that's how a lot of these hip hop artists, especially when we're talking about the age of P rappers, this is how they got into the game. They started with the look. They were hanging out. She said she owes 85% of her career, Lil Kim, to Biggie Smalls, right? What do you think Biggie did? I mean, I saw the movie, the
he definitely pushed her to go ahead and be a little bit more sexual in her whole delivery and presentation, and then she took it and just ran with it, right?
Exactly.
But yo, the only difference for me, man, is when I could think of Little Kim and I could think about Quiet Storm, Big Mama's House, like yo, like she has things that I can go ahead and look outside and just say, you know what, she wasn't just coochie rap. She did have that in her
Arsenal,
in her discography, but I could go ahead and for the equal amounts of those that I could go ahead and say, I could go ahead and go to something else. You know, even Foxy Brown, bro. Like, yo, the track that she did on Affirmative Action is one of the most legendary tracks out there, bro. Like that, her verse is one of the most. She left those dudes in the dust, and those dudes didn't do bad. Everybody did fire on Affirmative Action. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, she came through, had the math, and it was accurate. Yo, she was out there killing it. She put in work. So when she does coochie rap, she earned it. To me, you know what I'm saying? You earned that spot to go ahead and be like, yo, I'm gonna just go ahead and BS for a little bit. All right, yo, don't forget to bring these bars back though.
Gotcha. So before we transition, I did want to look at one more thing and look at some of the raunchiest rap lyrics that have ever come about. So we go pull this up on stage. And I found this again. This is on Power. What's that? 106.3. Where they put a list
107.5, 106.3. Yeah.
Yeah. Where top 10 raunchiest rap lyrics of all times. This was written back in 2013. So I mean, a lot's changed since then. So, but I thought it was interesting because it did play into me saying that this stuff started a long time ago and it didn't just pull up here in 2020 to 2024. So we got the first one, 212 by Azalea Banks featuring Lazy J. She says, F him like you do want to come. I'm not saying that word because I don't want to get canceled before I get started. Your homosexual will get discovered in the 2-1 deuce. Cock-a-licking in the water by the Blue Bayou. Caught the warm goo in your do-rag too. Wow. I Shot Your remix. LL Cool J featuring Keith Murray, Prodigy, Fat Joe, and Foxy Brown. Want to creep on the light raw ass cheeks. I'm sexing raw dog without protection. Disease infested. Foxy Brown. So that right there, that's definitely something I can hear Sexy Red saying today. She didn't start this. Bands Will Make Her Dance. We all remember that song. Juicy J featuring 2 Chainz. She make that ass clap, dancing like she on a D. Bring it back. I threw a stack. That's a lucky bitch. Up and down, she's going. She's sliding on that pole. Make money stacking up 100 shorties cold. P Monster by Lil Wayne. No Time featuring Diddy. Who's Martians vs. Goblins? Oh, that's Tyler, the Creator.
Nah, he's wild. Nah, that dude is wild, bro.
F-U, I spit like I had kids with Erykah Badu. I F'd her in the day of the naked video shoot. I was sucking that pee like it was wonton soup. That boy ripped. 2 Live Crew Pop That Coochie. Freaky Girl Gucci Mane featuring Nicki Minaj. Put It in Your Mouth by Icanelli, I think you mentioned that one earlier.
Akinelli, yeah.
Still Not a Player by Big Pun. Now, I'm surprised this was wrote in 2013. I'm surprised they don't got Busting Up by Biggie Smalls on here. So that's all. That's another one. I gotta check that until I spit it on my gut and suck that back up. Ain't that a that's that funk. I ain't gonna lie to you. But we was listening to this stuff. And I think
Look at that Florida boy going ahead and listening to bars. Meanwhile, he was talking about 808s.
That was Biggie though. That was Biggie though. That was a little bit different.
If you have the capacity to listen to that, my guy, guess what? You can be scrutinizing in other areas.
I got you. But yeah, man, definitely. I think Biggie Smalls could have definitely been on that list. But just to sum up this little piece, man, Sexy Red cannot be held accountable for the things that she's saying. When you haven't held the 100 people before her accountable for the same thing. They tried. And they did try, but they didn't really try because when they put that green back in their face, they was like, oh, well, we could make that type of money. So let's go ahead and roll with it.
They'll forever do that because guess what? Hip hop is the punching bag. Even though it's the money machine, it's the easy one to go ahead and throw and demonize. No, for real. Because they'll go ahead and spotlight the images. It's such a popular genre that everybody has experience about it. So when somebody goes ahead and tries to frame it in a different way and just be like, oh, hip hop's so violent and sexual and there's no benefit from it. And it's like, well, why do you guys go ahead and use hip hop to promote all of your advertisements if there's no benefit to it? Like you're right there in the same system. As a matter of fact, most of the times that the tracks are actually produced like that before wasn't because the artist wanted to do that. It was because the label was pushing them because that's what makes money. A lot of the times the artists wanted to go ahead and present themselves in a different way. But then you'll have the A&R going ahead and saying, nah, just go ahead and, put your shirt down a little bit, talk about how you one time you did this and that. And then next thing you know, you're shaping the industry because when they write about different things, then all of a sudden you shelf them in a way to go ahead and teach them, hey, don't go ahead and go against the money.
I got you. So before we transition, because I do got a current event for us too, and I'm gonna blame this on Sexy Red because the current event, the person in there looks like she listens to Sexy Red. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but before I even get to that part, right, I gotta ask you this question: do you know what a fupa is?
Yes.
Do you know what it is? I just found out about
it.
A week
is the
ago.
Fatter upper coochie area. Place a different word for your imagination for coochie.
It's actually pubic area. That's what they said, bro. You doing?
Nah, I'm telling you right now, it's in the streets where it started. That's how it started. Ask anybody. I'm on it, bro.
Hey, I'm educating people today. So I had to look this up because we got a problem with just walking around hearing all these hip hop songs and we just take stuff and start running with it. So I gotta be honest with you. There's a guy called Moonwalker. He's an artist, and he got a song called Lizzo, right? And the song is jamming. Matter of fact, it was one of those TikTok. You know how they be doing the stuff on TikTok. He had a lot of plays on there. Anyway. So I was walking around talking about people fupa and all this kind of good stuff. Like she got a little fupa, but that's okay. I'm right here just rapping, vibing, right? Don't know what a fupa is. And then I found it was the fat upper pubic area. I was like, damn, I'm walking around here promoting this stuff and don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So just so people can understand, the fupa is a fat upper pubic area. Weight gain and obesity can lead to a number of different problems in terms of both your physical health and your overall body image. One issue that you may find yourself worrying about, even after you lost weight, is called FUPA. The acronym stands for fatty upper pubic area. That's for the PC folks, right, Professor?
Yeah, man. They tried to go ahead and appropriate that phrase because they never started it in the medical industry. Let's be clear.
So in some instances, FUPA can both cause physical problems and negatively impact your self-esteem. If this is a real problem for you, then there are surgical and psychological treatments that can help you. So basically, if you got a problem with it, have surgery or get some mental help. When you gain weight, fat can accumulate all over your body. This includes the region above your pubic area, technically called the mons pubis. It's a prominent cushion that protects your pubic bone and produces your pubic hairs. In females with fupa, the tissue on both sides of your vulva, called the labia major, also becomes fatty and can distort the appearance of your genital region. In males, excessive weight gain can lead to a problem that's referred to as buried penis. So, with all that being said, that's what a fupa is, and you can avoid buried penis and disfigured vulvas if you get on the weight regimen. And now, when you walk around talking about fupas, you know what the hell you talking about. Don't be like me out here just singing along with the songs and don't know what the hell going on.
Oh, so you out here just, yo, can you imagine you at the job? Yo, she got a little fupa, but that's okay. You like that, man? That'll be $84.99. Yo, you were singing that in front of somebody. So you did. So
Just at the drive-thru singing, waiting for my Big Mac.
Damn. Lord Jesus.
All right, man. So check this out. I do got this one current event. We go look at it. This happened at a Walmart, and Walmart is always good for giving us something to talk about. I feel like if I just type Walmart into my search bar, I could always find something that's happening there that's just a little outlandish. So I don't want to go into too much detail about it. Let's pull it up. Let's look at it. Then we go come back and talk about it. And like I told you, I think she listened to Sexy Red. So here we go. We're going to add this to the
Five-year
stage.
Walmart employee here in the Metro loses her job for posting a video that has gone viral.
Felicia Darling says when the child entered the Byram store last week during record-breaking cold temperatures wearing only a diaper, well, she had to do something. I spoke to her tonight, and she says she knew she had to do something quick. Felicia Darling said something to the mother, as did a male customer. Here's some of the interaction.
He came in here without that jacket on. Yeah, he did. Obviously. That baby just had a pamper on. That's all he got on. I can't.
He's just an innocent soul. He didn't ask to be here. So I took action and I started recording her. In the video, she threw cold food on the baby.
Yeah, don't do that.
And he sadly just looked down.
Somebody call police on her.
It seemed like in his eyes, he was just looking for help. He was crying out for help.
Get out there, man.
A man was telling her, you throwing cold food on the baby. She walks off and flirts.
I told you. Tell me she don't listen to Sexy Red. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, don't do that. Somebody call police. No, what's wrong with you? Somebody call police on her. Who are you? Lower your voice. Who are you? Get out that man. Get out that man, please. Crazy. What the hell? Somebody call police on her.
Go ahead, CPS. I already called 2 times. I keep paying. So long as you got hot water, fire extinguisher.
But when you come in the store fully dressed in your baby's name.
Now, I'm going to call a cop right now.
A customer in a riding shopping cart purchases an outfit for the boy and dresses him while the mother flips through her phone.
After the lady in the riding cart put the outfit on the baby, she walks out of Walmart and started walking to her car. Was walking to her car. A cop was walking behind her. And they arrested her, and they took the baby. They took the baby, and CPS was called.
26-year-old Cambria Darby was arrested and charged with child neglect. Child Protective Services released the child to a family member. Byram police say Darby has bonded out. We reached out to Walmart after Darling was fired. This is their statement in full. Quote, "We share the concern others have for the child in the video in our store in Jackson, Mississippi. We don't discuss personnel matters involving current or former associates. All associates are encouraged and empowered to use their judgment in contacting authorities when they see something that may be wrong. However, all associates are also expected to follow the Walmart Code of Conduct." End quote.
Yes, I feel like I did the right thing. Because who wouldn't want Who wouldn't want to help an innocent child?
So there you go. So summarize it just a little bit. Lady shopping in Walmart, fully dressed, has a child in the shopping cart, half naked. It's cold as all get out outside. A Walmart employee decides that that's wrong, so she decides to record the customer, tells somebody to please call the police. Obviously, you saw other customers intervening as even one lady bought clothes for the child. I mean, complete civilian. And then she sat there, watched her buy clothes for the child, put the clothes on the child, and she flipping through the phone. And then she thinks that it's all good to just go ahead and leave. And I even zoomed over the part to where she just thought it was cute to walk and twerk. Now, the last show we did last week, Sunday, we talked about some people shouldn't have kids. And this is just another reason or another scenario as to here's somebody else who shouldn't have kids. So, Professor, I know you love chiming in on these topics. I'm going to let you have it first this time because last time I went off on my tangent. I'm going to let you have yours. Go ahead. What do you think about this? First, start with the mother and what's going through her mind, and then let's talk about was Walmart justified in firing the employee that started this whole deal?
First, I don't love talking about these topics. I'm here to do this show, my friend. But outside of that, yo, this right here, man, I hate seeing any of this. I am not excited for her to go to jail. I'm not excited for any of these things. I'm disappointed because I hate when these things happen and become the Black community. We have a different set of rules. So when things happen, they become the representation of the culture when it's negative. And that's how racism is perpetuated. You know, this person does this and now everybody has to wear the black eye for it. This is just sad all around. What was going in the girl's mind? Who knows? Like, you know, who failed you as a parent? What circumstances led to you not getting the necessary guidance that you deserved? You know, that should have been instilled in you. What happened? How did it happen to you? You know, somewhere along the lines, I have to go ahead and say that either A, somebody from her parents fell through the cracks, or B, you know, she fell through the cracks with her own parents. But she was in a space of, why do I have to do things the right way? There are some people that live in this world of, I don't want to do things your way. I'm going to just do it my way. And it's almost, to me, I don't see any reasoning behind it outside of either laziness or you just have this quality in you of questioning everything in life, even the things that you can see blatantly as to why this should happen. I don't know where her mindset was. I know that she twerked just to go ahead and piss them off, but it's like, yo, in a situation that's serious, for you to be able to twerk, you're far gone in your ascertainment of what's going on at this moment. You don't get it because you don't feel the weight of when somebody says, I'm going to call the police. You said, I don't care. I had CPS called on me twice and I cleared it both times. All you have to do is have hot water, lights, and she's going down the list of the bare minimum that you have to have for you to pass a check with CPS. That video let me know that there was more than one person that was concerned about her, because how you have to go ahead and have 2 encounters with CPS. right? So you already had 2 encounters with CPS. You don't care to the point where you're going to the store now. You're just blatant. Like, I can do whatever I want to. There might be a case of mental illness in there, but at the same time, it could be possibly that you just fell through the cracks as well. It's wild. Now, the Walmart employee being fired, shame on you, Walmart. Shame on you. You put out a statement basically saying, we encourage people to go ahead and do the right thing whenever they see it, but we got a code of conduct to follow as well. Your code of conduct shouldn't have been violated right then and there. Your code of conduct shouldn't have been violated right then and there, because I don't give a damn about your company. I don't give a damn if we got to wait an extra half hour to purchase things. I think situations like that should definitively be reported. I think you should have the proof that you need to have to go ahead and do what you need to do the right thing. Quality of life is never going to be under operations of a store. Everybody's well-being and the right to pursue live in happiness, how the phrase goes, it eluded me at this moment in time, but you have the right to pursue happiness and live a good quality of life in this place. So a good quality of life means that you're treating your offspring in the proper way that you're supposed to be treating them. When you see things like that, I think they should be reported. You shouldn't go ahead and have these people handcuffed to a code of conduct because it's more convenient for you, right? You don't want to get involved in the potential liability of your name looking crazy when this worker does what they do. You don't even want to be involved in the liability or the backlash of what could potentially happen if all of this didn't happen the right way. So all of that is potential. There's no guarantee she was doing the right thing, but you're trying to avoid potential. It's easier for you to go ahead and sever ties with the liability than to go ahead and keep it around. I get it. I know it, right? But shame on you. She did the right thing, man. And now you guys left her without a job. So, yeah.
So you and I will always differ when it comes to the work aspect of things. Right?
I hate you.
But yeah, no, well, I got a different perspective on now. Do I want this person to be fired? No, because I gotta imagine being somebody who's been in a situation like this before, where you have to call a shot that you don't necessarily want to call, and some things are bigger than the person inside of that store. So I like the fact that you say Walmart, because it's probably not the people in the store making the decisions at that point.
Right.
But just to start with this mom for the first thing, some people shouldn't have kids. And it sounds like there was a little bit of failure somewhere. If she knows all the ins and outs of CPS, right? We probably should have had this baby taken a little bit of time ago. And listen, I'm not an advocate for people losing their kids. I think that sucks. It's not good for anybody. The mom is going to be messed up. The family going to be messed up. The kid going to be messed up. It's not the best course of action, right? But if the environment is so toxic to where it's just not safe for the child to be there, then obviously what has to happen has to happen. This lady being out in the store with a kid, half naked, freezing cold in the store where people are actively trying to intervene, it's just heartbreaking. And I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't know, like you, what her thought process was when she went in there. It could be drugs. It could be mental issues. It could just be I don't give a damn. But, when people are trying to help you out and get you going in the right direction, you're resistant to that help at the same time. And the twerking piece, like you said, she was just trying to agitate. So it seems like something that she may be used to doing. But just to tie all this together, that type of mentality of what we just watched with the lady twerking goes into some of the music that we're listening to. They said it in the article earlier. Where it's this I can't even remember the word, so I don't want to mess it up. But this independent type deal where she's out there, materialistic, and it's very sex oriented. She just twerking. What are you doing it for? Like,
unspoken, unapologeticness for sexual
like you
expression.
twerking has nothing to do with the situation. We're telling you your child is in danger, and you talk about some like what's the flex in that moment right there? The fact that you just do what you want and you don't have to answer to anybody. Yeah, that's true. But at the end of the day, you putting that child in danger. Just like the lady said, that child didn't choose to be here, but you out here in a full sweater and long pants. Come on now. Let's be real. Now, Walmart, on the other hand, the associate getting let go, I gotta say I'm not surprised. We did a show. Again, we've done this before. We've been here. The people at Lululemon, they called the police on some smash and grabbers, right? All of them lost their job. So the one thing I've come to realize, when you work in these business spaces, especially in retail, there's certain people who are allowed to call the police. Now, although I think this girl is not the one who called the police, because obviously she was recording and other people said they were going to call the police. She's probably at work, she's on the clock, and she's spending time recording this situation when she needs to be at work. You're out of place. Best case scenario, what you need to do is go get a manager involved in that and let him deal with that. You cannot be the social hero at that particular point in moment, because no company, no organization is going to take on that liability, like you said. Now, I could sit here, I could think it's right, I could think it's wrong. My opinion doesn't matter. It's how it's gonna be handled every time. And you see what they said. When you see something, basically they said, when you see something, say something, but abide by Walmart's code of conduct. Okay. That means if you're at work at that particular moment and you see something, you need to get the proper people involved. Your best bet would have been to get a manager over there and let them deal with that situation, because that you're just out of place and you're taking steps that could put the company at risk. And like you say, they fired her on potential, but it's always going to be that way. I'm not saying it's right. All I'm saying is I understand why it happens that way. Can you try to see the other side of that ball? Because I gotta separate.
F you, man. Nah, bro, you talking out of both sides of your mouth. I can't stand you. You know what? He says like this. I'm not saying it's right.
I'm not saying
but I can understand why it happens.
Because listen,
can you understand where I'm coming from? No,
listen, man. Me thinking it's right or wrong, that's my personal feeling. The fact is, this is how this plays out.
Yeah,
I can feel how I want to feel about it.
Look, I get it, but when you made the statement saying, it doesn't matter if I think it's wrong or it doesn't matter if I think it's right. This is how it's going to go down the whole time. My opinion doesn't matter. You're setting a narrative that's not necessarily true. It's a narrative that is tried to be pushed onto the public for people to accept it. But as we've seen, the court of social media is way more powerful than a lot of people can go ahead and limit down to that statement of my opinion doesn't matter. If your opinion lines up with other people enough times, it matters. And ain't nothing that it ain't nothing that a business can do when people start speaking in that type of situation. You could go ahead and continue, but when they go ahead and boycott, then you're gonna, you know, especially with how extreme cancel culture is, your opinion matters more than it ever did before.
Have you heard of anybody getting their job back?
No, but I don't know if that's the end all be all in that case to be like the litmus test, but I could see how you would feel that way. I think that things happen over time, right? And if enough people go ahead and have that sentiment, it'll be a problem. I don't think everybody who has that sentiment is going online to voice their concerns about this particular lady, because until now, I really didn't even know about the story. So, you know, how far the story gets to people kind of makes the difference, right? Like, look at the whole thing with Bill Cosby. That thing happened God knows how long, but Hannibal Buress was at the right place at the right time to say it to the right people, and then it went viral. So that's all I'm saying, brother. There's no limit on it by, oh, how many people got their job back. Nah, you'll see the change in the future when enough of that gets attention and they have to change their policies.
Yeah.
If that happens, potentially, right?
So that story is 24 hours old. One news article here, it has 1.8 million views. And then you got a bunch of people here talking about it already. So it's 24 hours old. And then they got the original clip here.
It's getting traction. We'll see.
I think it's been had traction. So we got somebody here saying that the lady was
This
fired.
guy says been had, and it's only 24 hours. Yo, you try to act like this an old lady.
Well, no. I'm looking at all the people that's making videos about it. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay. So basically, you're saying is the traction is there. So now we're just waiting and seeing.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens, but it's gonna be the same story. Ain't nobody gonna get their job back, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, this started a long time ago. Sexy Red is not to blame. I feel good saying that this has been happening for a long time. If you want something to change with this, we just gotta boycott this type of rap. But that's not gonna happen because we enjoy listening to it. So
bend that over. Let that breathe. Hands on your knees. Hands on your.
As always, it's been a pleasure rocking with you, bro. We don't need no closing thoughts. We already know what it is, man. Until next time, we'll see y'all. We out.
Holla.